It's about the day of Aubrey's passing and the following weeks after it, and just kind of how, like, what I went through. I've seen a lot of videos like this, and I just think that it's important to see, like, another perspective on things, especially, like, if you're going through that. Maybe this will help people. I don't know, but I've gotten to the point where I can talk about this without hysterically crying. So I think it's important for me to share the things that I went through and how I'm still getting through everything. So September 4th, 2023, I woke up at 9:30 in the morning. I had woken up and I'd gone to the living room to go fill my mom in on the night prior. I was at a birthday party, and I just wanted to tell her about it. It was just like any other morning. We didn't have school that day, so I had woken up. I'd gone to the living room to go fill my mother in on my night prior. I'd gone back into my room to grab my phone so that I could go and show her the pictures of the night, because I was at a birthday party. And I was in my room for max 5 seconds before I just heard, like, these blood screeching screams coming from my mother. And I know y'all have seen the video of my mom finding Aubrey's letters to us, and it's not even comparable to that. It was so much more intense, and immediately, like, I'm just rushing to go, like, find out what's causing my mother to scream like this. So I'm following the screams, and they obviously lead me to my sister's room, where I find my mom and my sister. And I don't really know if I was in shock or not, to be completely honest. I was just so, like, I need to deal with what I need to deal with. So I'm immediately calling 911, running to my mother's room to tell my little brother, like, hey, like, don't leave this room until, like, I tell you to. I'm on the phone with 911. I end that call. I'm calling my Uncle Jeff. I'm calling Nick. I'm just calling the people that I need to call, and then I'm trying to help my mother out the best I can. I'm just running around the house trying to do what I could. Finally, the firefighters were the first to get there. If you call, like, 911, they all come. The firefighters were the first to get there, and then the cops, and then the EMTs, I believe, came. So they all got there, and at that point, I'm just hysterical. I don't know what to do. I'm trying my best to, like, stay calm, but, like, that's almost like the most impossible thing to do in that situation. So they're getting there, and I'm just like, do something. My mother's in the room with my sister, and I'm just a mess. Honestly, I'm like, that's the best way to put it. I'm just hysterical. I'm just begging them for an answer. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, like, save her, do something. So I don't know what you, like, call, like, the paramedics. They all, everyone's just inside, outside the house. It's just, it's crazy. And Nick had finally arrived, and I mean, I just broke down. Like, as soon as he got there, I'm just like, I really did try to hold myself together, and then the minute he got there, I'm just immediately a hot mess. I'm just bawling my eyes out. And at that point, we knew that Aubrey had passed. So at that point, it was just, it all happened, like, time went by so fast for me. And so I'm a hot mess. Like, at this point, like, I know my sister's not gonna wake up, but I'm like, I need to check on my mom. I need to check on Riker. So I'm running back and forth between checking on my mother and going into her room and making sure that Riker's okay and that he doesn't need anything. And so while all of this is going on, I'm going outside. Like, I was just running around so much. I don't know why, okay? So I go outside, and I see that my Uncle Jeff had pulled up, and I've never like broke down like that in my whole entire life. Like he gets out of his truck, and I run, and I just fall. It's like a scene you see out of like a movie. I'm just running, and I literally fall in the grass, and he's like picking me up, and then he's crying, I'm crying, like I'm hysterical. I'm like, she passed away, I don't know what to do anymore. I'm a hot mess. So at this point, a couple hours, like I'm not gonna go into detail about every little thing, some of that is private. So at this point, a few hours have passed. We're all in the house, and we're just like kind of just trying to figure out how we're gonna tell Riker, because he still doesn't know anything that's going on. He hasn't even left my mother's room yet, and I'm gonna leave that up to like my mother to talk about. It's not my place. I'll leave. When she comes back, she can talk about it. That's just an emotional roller coaster itself. So, like the weeks following Aubrey's passing, I didn't go to school for 2 weeks. I was with my mom. Went to my mom to like all of like the things for her funeral, like we and all of that. Helped her plan everything, and it was a beautiful ceremony. It was definitely it's still emotional, but it's not something easy to go through. I went through for the longest time, I couldn't open up doors. Like, I don't know if and I have a therapist, okay? He says it's normal, and I'm okay now. Like, I can open doors now, but like for the longest time, I couldn't open up doors because I was so scared that something bad was going to be behind them, because September 4th I opened a door, my whole life changed. So I just couldn't open doors. I was terrified, and there was a lot of crying. I couldn't sleep by myself for the longest time. Like me, Riker, and my mom slept together for months. And I have like this amazing story, and obviously I've grown up Christian like my whole life, always going to church and stuff like that. But like when Aubrey passed away, I went through a lot, and I just was like, what if it's not true? Like, what if? And people can tell you all day long, like, you can't think about the what ifs, but be put in any position like that, and you just can't, okay? You can't not think about the what ifs. So I'm really going through it, just thinking about everything, like what if heaven and hell like aren't real, like what if, because at the time the only thing that was keeping me sane was, oh, I'm gonna see her again one day when it's my time, like I'm gonna pass and I will see my sister again one day. And so I just like was going through it, and I always say my prayers at night, and I lay my head down, and I just like, it was the craziest thing ever. It was a man's voice, and I never heard it before, ever. And it's just opened the book, and I just took it as like that was Jesus telling me to go read the Bible. And I have been, and I'm definitely, I didn't mean to cut it off, but I'm definitely healing. It's not a fast process, it's definitely slow. And grieving, like, is a crazy thing. I will literally just be in my bed and just start crying, because the reality kicks in of, oh, like, my sister's never gonna be here again. But you just have to take every day one day at a time, and